That's Marcellus Wiley, that dude.
Yes, sir.
Coming up, we'll tell you if Dak Prescott or Jared Goff has more on the line this week.
And I've got another installment of the Emmy Award-winning That Dude's Dudes.
Dun, 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 dun.
Thank you. I ain't get a Golden Globe, though. What's up? But we start every day with a Whitlock. What you got today, big dog?
Oh, man, the Arizona Cardinals hiring of Kliff Kingsbury is not a football sound decision. It's a prisoner of the moment decision. It's a fad decision. It's the kind of decision-making that works in Hollywood or the music industry, but fails rather quickly in an industry that requires actual substance. The Cardinals hired Kingsbury because he's a tall Shawne McVay, the Tom Cruise magazine cover boy of NFL coaches. In their press release announcing Kingsbury's hiring, the Cardinals bragged that Kingsbury is friends with McVay, and they called the Rams coach. McVay is being hailed as a genius, but not one person has called him a playoff winner as of this date. The NFC West has gone Hollywood. McVay, Kingsbury, and San Francisco head coach Kyle Shanahan are the new Rat Pack or Brat Pack. They're football's Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, and Sammy Davis Jr. Hollywood loves style, cares little for substance. Oh, the Beatles are popular. We'll make a knockoff TV show and music group called The Monkees. That's Hollywood since the beginning of time. Football doesn't work that way, not successfully. McVay and Shanahan are cute and cuddly and seen as quarterback gurus. So the Cardinals hired their fair-haired golden boy coach. Problem is, there's no reason to believe Kingsbury is going to be successful. None. Since 1986, Texas Tech has had 4 head coaches: Spike Dike, Mike Leach, Tommy Tuberville, and Kingsbury. Only one of them finished with a losing record: Kingsbury. Yes, Kingsbury runs a quarterback-friendly offense, and he's likely going to be an asset for Arizona's young quarterback, Josh Rosen. But you don't hire NFL head coaches to coach one position or one player. This ain't basketball. It's not that easy. You have to worry about more than just making LeBron James happy. The best football head coaches coach their assistant coaches. That's the long-term sustainable winning formula. A football head coaches are adept at coaching the other grown men they work with on a day-to-day basis. The assistants coach the children, and the head coach arbitrates the disputes. That's what makes Bill Belichick Bill Belichick. His ability to lead his peers. The same goes for Nick Saban, Dabo Swinney, and Urban Meyer. You know why the Rams haven't been able to fix their high-priced, all-star laden defense? Because pretty boy Shawne McVay can't coach Wade Phillips. Phillips, no matter how experienced and talented he is, needs to be coached. That's the head coach's job. Look at Hugh Jackson. He's a tremendous offensive mind. He knows as much about offensive football as anyone in the game. He failed as a head coach because he can't coach his coaches. That's the job. Kingsbury's a bad hire. He might have some initial success and improve the play of Josh Rosen, but I think the Cardinals will regret this hire within 3 to 4 years. All right, joining the desk now are Fox Football NFL analyst D'Angelo Hall and Shawne Merriman. Marcellus, I'll start with you.
Yes, sir.
Kingsbury, bad hire.
I know you got trust issues. I could tell. It just came out and yet it does. Despite the fact that you're 50-plus years old and you're super single still, I know you got some trust issues. But dang, can you give him enough rope to hang himself with instead of saying...
What'd they give him at Texas Tech?
Look, at Texas Tech, he had a top...
He hung himself.
No.
He got fired.
Well,
he hung himself.
He also showed his greatest attribute, which is I'm an offensive mind. The top 16 offense every single year he was there. Now, to your point, to your criticism, he must coach others. He must hire the right coaches. He must hire a tremendous defensive coordinator like Shawne McVay did. But if you look at what he's there to do, it's twofold. One is to bring that offensive genius, and 2, fix Josh Rosen, who had the worst quarterback rating of all quarterbacks and who is also the can't-miss prospect in terms of being NFL ready. So if you bring him into the fold, you're saying in this copycat league, this should work. 7 of the 8 coaches remaining in the playoffs right now are offensive-minded, and half of them are former quarterbacks like Kliff Kingsbury. They all are cut from the same cloth. And you can't argue with those results. You can't argue with that success. And if this is a guy who's being respected and lauded by not only that group of people and those people who have faced Texas Tech, but even his former players. Patrick Mahomes is swearing by Kliff Kingsbury.
I would too.
Well, hey, look,
if I was a player.
Well, the success is why he swear by him. And look, at A&M,
what success?
At A&M, he helped Manziel become an Heisman Trophy winner. Like, if you just look at the individual cases, they're saying we have another individual case for you. It's called Josh Rosen, Arizona Cardinals. I support this hire, and I think it's going to work.
If you bring in a coach that is 8-5, 4-8, 7-6, 5-7, 6-7, where's the success? I don't get it. Whenever you let go a Steve Wilks. So Steve Wilks was my defensive back coach when I played with the Chargers. So I know him as a person. So anytime you get rid of a first-time head coach after 1 year, there's normally a dispute with the organization. And since I know Steve Wilks, I know that wasn't the case. This is why you have a problem with people, with the gripe with people having a problem with African-American coaches and why they aren't having the opportunities. You get rid of a guy after 1 year and you bring in this. If you bring in
coach one person.
If you bring in Urban Meyer, if you bring in Nick Saban, or someone who has a winning record and a long history of a winning record, nobody complains. But if you get rid of a first-time head coach after 1 year, after one season, and you bring in one coach to coach one player, this is where the gripe comes from. I think it's a horrible decision, not only for 3 or 4 years. I think it sets back the organization longer than that, because even if you give this guy a chance to be there 3 and 4 years, you still going to have another 3 or 4 years to build. So they probably are setting this organization back at least by 5 years. I think it's a horrible decision.
Yeah, and my problem isn't even with Kliff Kingsbury. My problem is with the Arizona Cardinals, because like you said, they're bringing him in to coach one position. If he was an offensive coordinator, bam, I don't have a problem with it. But you're asking this guy to coach men. Coach grown men, some that probably he won't have the respect of some of those guys walking in that door. One, from just the way he handled the whole USC situation, and two, just like you said, his record doesn't show me that he deserves this. And that's what it comes down to at this point. Some of these guys who are getting head coaching jobs don't necessarily deserve the opportunity, and that's all I want. I want to see guys who deserve the opportunity to be a head coach to get that chance.
You're right. He doesn't. And make it even worse, everyone's trying to go with the trend right now because Shawne McVay is having.
But you know what? Let me cut you off real quick. I don't even think this has anything to do with Shawne McVay.
Oh,
I think they did put it in the press conference, but I think that this has more to do with Patrick Mahomes and the success he has had since coming into this league.
They better move his arm to Arizona.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because they're saying Kliff Kingsbury is this quarterback whisperer or this great quarterback guru. I mean, you got Pat Mahomes, who I feel like is that anomaly. The baseball kid who can throw it all kind of ways, strong arm, athletic, gets it mentally. But some of the other guys he's coached, Case Keenum.
Had his moments.
Davis Webb.
What?
And Johnny Manziel, who we never thought was a pro-style quarterback. But to me, it's just a college gimmicky style where we can compile all these numbers. But at the end of the day, I still haven't taught you how to read a defense.
I'm just going to tell you what the issue is going to be. And again, they talking about the grown men with big contracts on the field is one thing.
Yeah.
But now you have grown men with big contracts in the assistant coaching pool. And so they're going to have to go out and spend some money on a real defensive coordinator with some NFL experience. And he's going to be the boss of him. And trust me, that NFL defensive coordinator, I don't know who it is, he's not going to respect Kingsbury. Yeah. Kingsbury can't tell him nothing. Man, you don't know nothing about this game over here in the NFL. That's a nice little gimmick offense you ran in the Big 12, and it put up some numbers. But over here in this league, you know nothing. And so, again, the head coach has to coach the assistant coaches, and I just don't see it happening.
And you put up numbers, but you still don't win.
Wow.
You don't win. Okay. You don't win. And I'm hearing that he's one of those kind of guys. I had a guy like this in Atlanta, Bobby Petrino, who cared nothing about the defense. He was strictly offense. And a lot of the beef with me and Coach Petrino, how it went down, when we still had Michael Vick and he was still considered on our roster, he wanted me to go over there and work with the offense, Bobby Petrino. I did. I was running routes all offseason, was feeling good. Mike Zimmer was my defensive coordinator. Hugh Jackson actually was the offensive coordinator under Bobby Petrino. So this offense was slated to be pretty darn good. So they would let me run routes. I was feeling excited. I was a young kid, one of the fastest guys in the league. And so when I went and finally said, well, Mike had got in trouble. So once that went down, I said, Coach, I kind of want to just focus on defense. Oh, he flipped the script. He, at that point, everything I did, he found a way to pick at it. He would walk past me sometimes and not speak. I mean, he just became a different person. And hearing Baker Mayfield talk about Kliff Kingsbury and his relationship with him after going out there as a freshman and competing and getting hurt and then feeling like after I got hurt, Coach Kingsbury never said a word to me. He would walk past me. He would do this. If you're on that defensive side of the ball, almost like any given Sunday, you can't have one side without the other side.
Okay,
and that will create a divide in that locker room.
Let me cut you off. Okay, I got three things that I'm going to smoke all three of y'all right now. I got it out. First one is you brought up a losing record, right? 5 of his 6 seasons at Texas Tech. You did, right?
Yep.
And I wonder who in NFL history had a losing record 5 of their first 6 seasons.
And I wonder who won 2 Super Bowls with the Giants.
Not as head coach. I wonder who that was. Bill Belichick. Okay, so no opportunity to get. Oh, yeah, we should give you another.
The NFL
I'm not done. Though. I got another one for you. Here's some smoke. The 4 teams right now that are still playing in the playoffs are Big 12 offenses. Chiefs, Rams, Saints, and then the Bears should be playing, but damn it, the field goal kicker.
Man, that ain't no Big 12 offense because they score points.
Okay, this is just
the Saints.
This is just by the X's and O's.
I'll let you keep going.
Okay, and then last but not least, Shawne McVay does not focus in on defense, to your point. He has Wade Phillips to do just that, and it's worked just fine for the Rams.
They got a problem
and for the former
defense.
coach of the year.
They can't stop the run. The number one element you have to do, they can't stop the run.
Do the Rams have a problem?
They have a problem defense.
The Rams and Shawne McVay has been there is a problem.
And we're going to see this weekend what happens. But
See,
I want to go on the Belichick deal. Did you just hear me say everybody that coached at Texas Tech since 1986 has won, except for one person? Everybody that coaches for the Browns has been a failure. Bill Belichick, fine.
Schottenheimer was not a failure. Don't do that.
Well,
okay, I'm just saying, not everybody. Just let's keep it real. Fact-based.
That was 40 years ago when Marty had success.
It counts.
The Browns organization kills coaches. Bill Belichick's resume, having coached with Parcells and the Giants and having won Super Bowls, it's hard to second guess.
I won't even have to say it's comparable to Bill Belichick's. But it's in the world of give the guy a chance. It's in the world of you can fix Josh Rosen. It's in the world of your offensive.
Come be an OC in the NFL first.
Yeah, it's just it's
so many other opportunities, so many other coaches. Why go over everyone's head that's in this pool right now to go get a college coach that has no successful winning seasons?
This is bad decision making.
Back to back.
Yeah.
The general manager drafted Josh Rosen, and the general manager's all in on justifying that pick.
Yes.
And so now, the other 52 dudes in that locker room are going to be like, well, hold on, what about me? What about the entire team?
You fix the quarterback, you fix the offensive line, you fix the receivers, you fix the offense, and that could complement the defense. Y'all stop that acting like that's not complimentary football right there. Most important position getting fixed. You can't have the worst quarterback rating at your offensive quarterback
There's
position.
other ways to fix it.
And I'm going to be interested to see how he coexist with that team as a leader of men in that locker room. That is what I can't wait to see.
And can you guys please stop disrespecting the process and get out of this archaic mindset that you got to be a former coordinator or you got to have some.
I don't believe that.
Okay, Merriman was saying that.
Win. That's all I'm saying. You just have to have. You just have to have.
You want to see some guys with no head coaching experience? Doug Peterson, Shawne McVay, Matt Nagy, and Frank Reich. Oh, are all those guys still playing in the playoffs? Right, look at this. I did that. I did that.
Guys been around football.
Been around football. He made it to the playoffs.
Coaching in the league.
Shawne McVay didn't even go pro. At least Kliff Kingsbury was a pro player. Like y'all I'll just say it like I started off with. Give the guy enough rope to hang himself with.
Again. Make sure you just say hang himself again. Because he hung himself at Texas Tech. And he's getting the rope. Arizona's going to give him the rope. Same as Texas Tech. Stick around. Later in the show, we'll get